the topic I kind of want to talk about, I'm not sure how well versed you guys are in this, but this one's for the gamer boys, the memers, and the
Oh
Xbox
boy.
boys. But the whole universe of it is Halo.
Ah,
Yeah,
I thought you might talk about this, which is good because I think Will was going to talk about this if he were here. So good that you're filling in for him there. Sad that you guys can't gush about it together, but
yeah,
we'll
seriously.
find a way to make that happen. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh man, just so if you guys don't know, the main storyline stuff takes place about few centuries ahead in time. It's definitely more sci-fi. And the main character is a guy named Master Chief. If you don't already know that term, even just from it floating around the internet for years, since Halo's old as balls now. But so Master Chief is basically a powered up soldier who was stolen from his home as a child, indoctrinated into the army, and basically made to be a super soldier to fight off revolutionaries and whatnot, behind the government's back without the people knowing. And then what actually ends up happening is alien invasions happen. And then instead of using them to fight revolutionaries and anyone who's causing problems, they set out Spartans, which there's more than one, and that's why he is a Spartan, to fight in the war. And basically they become the saviors of most planets while they're being taken over by the Covenant, which is the aliens. And Master Chief ends up being one of the last ones in his own generation of Spartans. And he's special because he takes upon a AI that's a little bit more smart than your average dumb AI that just kind of knows how to do stuff. She's actually like has her own personality and connects with him on an emotional level. But that's the more or less gist of Halo and that. But the overarching like world of Halo is incredible and super crazy. There's multiple Spartans and generations and whatnot, but yeah, he's the one we focus on the most. But we learn about like even like the shock troopers and crazy shit that's in that world too. So I don't know. I personally love Halo, so I play almost every game.
Yeah. So I've never owned an Xbox.
No
I think
worries,
I've
no, no
said this
worries.
on the podcast before, but obviously Halo is a touchstone for I think people our age because it was like one of the dominant first person shooter games,
Oh
like
yeah,
head to head with Call of Duty for a long time. It sort of waned and recently has picked back up. But um I didn't realize how much I wanted to see a Halo movie until I saw the trailer.
the trailers, yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, yes, give it to me. I want the fucking Halo movie. I think
Man.
it's like a series.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
they're
sure.
doing a series. I think it's Paramount is distributing it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, like they have like some animated movies that take place in the universe and take place with the main character and other characters. But like if you ever want to get like a good feel of like how the Halo fan base has like wanted to see a movie or show so badly, you can see like their live action trailers for
Yeah.
like any of the old games, especially like Halo Reach has probably the best live action trailers and makes you feel like man, this
Oh,
world is real. And
I
then
think I remember that trailer. Didn't it
yeah,
have like the music?
yeah, and then
Like
like Halo 3 had these old trailers, and it's about like older gentlemen who are retired veterans, and it's their stories of how they fought next to Master Chief and how he
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and there's like a museum that they're in. You see them talking, and there's like little like figures that people made to like represent the wars and whatnot. But it's like the most like heartfelt thing because it feels like these people are genuinely talking from like
Right.
experience. And it's like oh my god, they just hit home so well with their live action trailers. And some of them like I've shown even my girlfriend. She's like, "Why isn't there a show yet?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's what we've been saying."
Yeah.
So I'm
Uh,
excited that they're finally doing a show, and that's why I figured I was like perfect timing to bring it up.
yeah.
And the show going.
Some real world lore about Halo. They tried to get a movie going
Mhm.
about 10 to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm old, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, trust me, I
Uh,
know.
but and they were pitching it around Hollywood, and it just never got picked up because it was too big to make.
Yeah, it was
Um,
pretty hefty stuff, and a lot of people at that time too. There was so much sci-fi crap out too, like in terms of like movies that were being made that was kind of like just adding onto the pile. So a lot of people weren't willing
yeah,
to watch it, especially people who don't know the Halo stuff. It was more for the people who are already immersed in it.
and video game movies historically have not worked at all. There hasn't been one. I would say maybe we can take Detective Pikachu as like our one
Win.
success. Yeah, we did it, everyone.
Yay.
I haven't seen the Sonic movie yet, so maybe that's good. I don't
Yeah,
know,
me
but
neither.
Yeah, so they've been trying to make this for a long time. So I'm glad that it's finally being made. And I know people have been trying to make this, like fans of the series have been trying to get this made for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was like a film on Netflix, a Halo film, and it wasn't about the Master Chief. I think it was about maybe like the ODST thing. Like
I can't remember.
People.
The one you're talking about, there's one that was Halo Legends, which is like the one that's like different animation styles, and it's all combined into like one movie, and they're all different ones. I don't know about a live.
This was like a live action, and it just dealt with like one of their bases being attacked, and they got to like survive until Master Chief shows up. Yeah,
right. But it didn't have like Master Chief in it. It was like it was like younger recruits training, and then they get attacked. Right?
Actually, what it was is it was a story about another Halo Spartan that is a newer generation one, but it's before he becomes a Spartan. It's about can't remember his first name, but his name is Locke or something. But he's one of like the Marines that's stuck there too. I remember this. Yes, I totally.
Yeah. There's a space elevator in it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Space elevator. I love it. So yeah, I guess like seeing the trailer, Joe, do you feel like, was it one of those trailers that made you go, oh, I don't know. I'll hold judgment, but I don't know. Or were you like me and were like, fuck yeah, finally?
It's a 50-50. So they released a teaser at first. In the first teaser, I was like, fuck yeah, well, like headbang. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But then the second one that came out, it like everything looks great in terms of like aesthetic, like how they have like their effects and like the armor. It looks awesome to me personally. The one thing that I think almost every Halo person can agree on though is the AI he has named Cortana. In the game, she's like a synthetic looking like humanoid, but she looks like Data basically moving to make a human look. But in the trailer for the new one, they basically put this girl in makeup and gave her a blue wig and like a suit. It doesn't look good at all. And the one redeeming part they have is apparently they were going to cast someone for that to be like different, and then that fell through with COVID and everything. So instead of fucking around too much, basically what they did was they grabbed the actual main voice actor of Cortana and made her Cortana in the show, but they also made her act it too. So she is like
I'm looking
Cortana, but it's her voice.
Yeah,
so that's cool. But
I did recognize that, like when she came up on screen in the trailer, I was like, hey, that's the one. Like that, I know that voice.
Exactly, yeah.
But and I think like during the games, it got to a point where they were doing mocap. So like the face is her face too. So that's cool. But yeah, it doesn't look great.
No, like her voice and did like a fucking effect and CGI or something just to make it look like the synthetic thing that she's supposed to look like in the game. I would be okay with the effect over like slap her with a blue wig and blue contacts, and
even if they just put like a blue Photoshop filter over her, it would even look better.
A little tint on her.
Yeah. And like, I don't like, you've done it in a game, so there's no excuse really.
Exactly.
Even if it just looked like how it looks in the game, that would be almost better.
And like some of their effects that you can see, like some of the big wide shots and effects, it looks great. It's like maybe they used like, too much of their budget on that stuff. So they couldn't figure out like a little bit of CGI money for like the AI, but I mean, I'll take what I can get, man. At least it's happening.
Yeah, even if they made her like a little Star Wars hologram effect, it would look better than
that would be better.
Just a solid woman. You know,
it's definitely one of those iffy ones. I'm hoping enough feedback from the community can hopefully at least do some touch-ups after effects just to make her look a little bit better.
Yeah, we got them to change Sonic before that came out.
Exactly. Hey, I'm not trying to like riot against them or anything. Like I said, I'll take what I can get, but they definitely dropped the ball a little bit on that one.
Yeah, that's like they should have had that ready to go for the trailer if they're making changes or planning to anyways. But
exactly.
Yeah, hopefully it comes out. Do you guys have a guilty pleasure video game movie?
Oof. I mean, video game movie. Oh, Jesus.
I don't know that I've even seen, like, most of the time I see like a video game movie announced, I'm like, it'll be
actually, I got one.
Go for it.
Almost any of the Resident Evils are usually pretty like substandard, but they're fun to watch with friends and like, you know, have a good joke, have a beer or so and drink them. They are not great. A lot of them tried to replicate like scenes from the games, but man, they are just not good compared to the games, but they're fun to watch.
Yeah. I was gonna first say Mortal Kombat. I haven't seen the new one.
Me neither.
But the old like 90s one, I remember watching that and being like, oh, everyone's so cool. And then seeing clips of it as an adult, I'm like, fuck, that looks awful. But I will say, I did see Warcraft in the theaters twice. Is it a good film? It's not. It's really not. It's a pretty bad film. But I enjoyed seeing all those things in the game on screen. Because it was just cool. I wish that film would have been better.
I'm with you there. I didn't. That's again not a good movie, but the effects were cheesy enough to be like, this looks like a live action video game.
Yes. Yeah.
And it had like, I like that dude, like Travis Fimmel or something from Vikings. Like I liked him, so I was like, I just watched it.
Yeah,
because of him. But yeah, that is. It was like campy enough to be like it. Clearly doesn't take itself seriously, which is good.
But the plot was so serious.
But the plot was very serious, yeah.
And all the serious moments in that movie just fall flat because it's like
they do.
I don't know,
even their armor looks like a giant, like spray painted plastic to look metal. Like it just looks like a bunch of cosplayers. Like
look, cosplayer Space Marines. Yeah. Well, yeah. Joe, do you have anything else on Halo?
On Halo, I mean, I can go all day, man. Don't get me started.
We'll have to get you and Will in the same room and just do it. We'll just do it unabashed where I just like sign out. You guys just go for it.
This is the show. I'm leaving.
I come back. You guys are just like fighting.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm excited to see the show do good, but I'm really hoping that the show leads into almost like basically with Star Wars, what they've been doing is like the smaller like stories that we don't get to see through the main games and stuff. Like the game ODST, a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with that game, mostly because it didn't have online, but that like game is about like the orbital shock troopers. They're not the Master Chief. They're not like powered up humans. They're just dudes in suits with guns trying to survive and do like some covert missions, but it's great, and I want to see that stuff touched on. And even like in that Halo Legends movie, like with all like the different animations, all the little stories they even touched on, like half of them, like you get into the story, it kind of gets to like a good conclusion, but you're like, fuck, I want to see more. Like keep going.
Yeah.
I hope this show does a good enough job that they can start to hopefully make smaller series, or even like a web series of some of the stuff, because I'm fully invested in the Halo world, and I love like everything to do with like even just Master Chief. But man, like the universe is big enough, they can definitely fuck around a little bit.
Yeah, I that would be cool to see like a Halo like cinematic universe.
Exactly.
Definitely. I'm just like, I'm waiting for when Will comes back to the show and he's like, I fucking hated the trailer. He's like out of left field.
Like, fuck Cortana first, baby.
Yeah. First off. Okay, let's sorry, go ahead.
So far the armor and stuff looks pretty good, so like
I thought so too. But the first sort of up close shot they show of the helmet, I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah,
there's like one scene that it looks almost a little plasticky in the trailer, and that was the one that kind of threw me off. But then every other scene and all the other like Spartans they show, they look pretty fucking good, man. So I'm about it. I'm hoping for more.
I'm excited because like I said, I never played Halo campaigns or anything like that. So I'm excited to, if this is good, become a fan of Halo, because I am just like, I enjoyed, shooting rocket launchers at people and stuff, but I don't really know the lore. I like, I've seen videos about, Reach and all, like there's ancient religions and curses and the flood and blah, 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 blah. But I've never really gotten into it myself. But I will say, if I don't buy Paramount Plus for myself, I'll definitely be borrowing someone else's. So they've sold me on that just to see this. We'll have to connect about that.
We'll figure out a plan, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump into Matt's Meanders Mumblings. My topic is very vague today. I just wanted to talk about time travel, specifically in fantasy and sci-fi.